I honestly don't have words. Halo Infinite's campaign exceeded my expectations in more. It looks incredible. The amount of amazing content that I'm going to be able to produce for you guys is almost limitless. There's going to be so many different ways. You can even call in vehicles, different weapons, armor abilities, different enemies in certain areas, bosses that I can humiliate. I honestly don't think I've been this excited for a Halo game ever. I was trying to think of the words to properly describe the way I'm feeling after watching that. And honestly, I don't have any. When I saw the bit where they fly up and hijack and grapple the Banshee, or when they drove the Warthog off the cliff, that is what Halo is to me. I'm honestly sitting here trying to figure out the words of what I want to say, and I don't have any. I'm actually shocked that Halo Infinite's campaign is as good as it is. There is so much to break down, so I'll do a proper breakdown video when it's not 2 AM in Australia. But the game seems like a giant sandbox to have fun in and do amazing, incredible things. Another thing is I'm very invested in the story. Seeing the purple Cortana really gives huge CE vibes. The quirky new Cortana, the weapon, is actually really likable. Pair Master Chief and the weapon with Brohammer, and it's a really good combination. The environments just look beautiful. The game looks so pretty. The 1 year delay was definitely worth it. The ugly pillars have been revamped, they look much better. I've always been very critical of 343 because I've always wanted a Halo game that really is a true sequel to the original trilogy that Bungie produced. But more than that, Halo Combat Evolved. There's never really been a game like Halo Combat Evolved again. Halo 2 and Halo 3 were very linear and Halo 1 was more open world. And that's probably why, as a Halo game, it is my favorite. Until now, I may have a new favorite Halo game come this holidays. More than that though, the general consensus from the Halo community is really positive. Everyone seems to be super happy with what 343 has shown off. The wider gaming community looks super excited to play Halo, and if the game is really well received, it might be the start of the rise of Halo's popularity in the broader gaming community again, and that makes me happy. It's been a long time since I've been able to say that, and say it with confidence, I'll add. The number one thing is going to be replayability. There's going to be so many different ways to replay the campaign, so many different ways to tackle certain objectives, so many different ways to kill certain enemies. Speaking of new enemies, the new elite boss looks absolutely badass. The Harbinger, it honestly looks like Deoxys from Pokemon a little bit, but even that looks awesome. Master Chief also looks incredible. The aesthetic of the whole game looks great. I noticed that there's this kind of upgrade system that allows you to upgrade your thruster pack. The grapple hook actually does electric damage and freezes enemies in place. When the Master Chief thrusts, it actually makes him invisible. So it'll be curious to see how that affects the gameplay. I think that also means with the open world campaign or semi-open world, that there won't be closed off story missions like there was in say Halo 2 or Halo 3. You'll be able to do all these other side objectives and then come back to the main story if you want. I'm honestly really torn on between whether I want to play campaign or multiplayer or how I'm going to balance my time. Because I'm going to play a hell of a lot of campaign when it comes out. But also I want to play multiplayer too. Another thing I really loved is that the weapon actually says to Chief, how are we going to handle this? And he's like, I'm just going to blow it up. He just blows up everything, which is standard Chief behavior. But it'll also be really cool to see, do you have to blow things up or just eliminate all the enemies? How many different ways are you going to be able to complete an objective? And what variety is there? Leading on from variety, we have the boss fights. I wonder how hard the boss fights are going to be. Do their mechanics level with the difficulty you play on? Example, easy is pretty easy, but legendary, they have all these different mechanics that will kill you in a second if you make one mistake. Will they have more health? It'll be really interesting to see their variety, and I really hope they're not like Warden Eternal, it's the exact same fight over and over again. A good example of boss fights, I think, is Shadow of Mordor. Now that might be the wrong Lord of the Rings game, but I know that one of their games has heaps and heaps of different bosses to choose from. So I hope that is also the case with Halo Infinite. So guys, that's going to do it for today's initial reaction video. I am beyond stoked, happy, over the moon, ecstatic. I'm just overwhelmed with emotions of how thrilled I am with what 343 has shown off. Big kudos to them. They've created a campaign that is like my dream Halo campaign in terms of the mechanics and uniqueness. So if the story delivers, it very well may be my favorite Halo game, but time will tell. Let me know what you loved most about today's campaign overview, what you're most excited about. I'm really excited to read your comments about it. I'll do a full major breakdown of every little nitty gritty technical gameplay aspect tomorrow morning and give you my plans and ideas to create some truly awesome Halo content. But thank you all so much for watching. I cannot wait for December 8th, and it's a great time to be a Halo fan. Thanks for watching, guys.
Spartan 117 to the ultimate test. But where there is courage, there is hope. Welcome to the new era of Halo.